Hi, within this lecture, we're going to check and see if our backdoor and listener are compatible with Python 3 in this case. And we know that this is not compatible because we have row input in here. As you might remember, I have said that we need to use input rather than row input when we deal with Python 3. And we did use the row input in order to avoid the complications that come with Python 3. But now we're going to see and learn how to work with Python 3 in this lecture. Now at this point, if I try to use Python 3 within this code, let me try and show you. Okay, let me just run this with Python 3 and let me run the backdoor with Python 3 as well, so that we can just test both of them and see if they're both compatible or not. Okay, so let me just copy my Python 3 interpreter here and paste it in here. Okay, and before I paste it, let me go to desktop because that's where my file is located. So if I run this with Python 3, now it crashed before even it started. And as you can see, we got the session, but it says that row input is not defined. So it's obvious that I have to change this to be input in this case. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to undo it because I want to just save this as another file and convert it to be compatible with Python 3 within another file. Okay, so let me say file new project from here, and rather than saving this to be my socket listener, I'm going to say this is my socket listener version Python 3. Okay, VP3. Why I'm doing this? Because I want to make sure that I have both codes for Python 3 and Python 2. Maybe you want to add some new features to Python 2 with Python 2 compatible libraries, and maybe you want to build on Python 3. It's your choice because now it's both running. It will be both running when we're done actually. So I wanted to give you the option whether you want to work with Python 2 or Python 3. So when you create your own Python 3 version of this py file, just minimize this and copy everything from here. Okay, say Control A, Control C to copy it, and paste everything in here with Control V, and then save it, so that we will have both of them. So let me maximize this, okay, and just go to my row input and start with that. So I'm now in VP3 and I'm going to delete this row underscore from here. So now it's input. Actually, syntax wise, it was the only thing that I had to change in order to be compatible with Python 3. So now they are all okay. Of course, we will have to change one more thing, and I'm going to show you what it is. So let me just go to my new folder. Okay, so this is my socket listener version Python 3, and let me do ls. So let me run this with Python 3. Okay, my socket listener, and as it starts listening, let me go back and start my socket as well. So since syntax wise they are okay with Python 3, let me run something. As you can see, even though I'm writing the commands in a correct way, it doesn't work. It doesn't crash either, but I don't get the results. I only get the error message, and this is because I implemented try an exception block in my code. So even I cannot just run quit. I have to just do Control-C out of both of these softwares. So why is this happening? Let me go back to my PyCharm, and I think the other one is still open, so let me close this and make sure that I work with Python 3 version. So in Python 3, we have to make sure that we are sending string and byte objects carefully. So even though I'm trying to send a JSON data in here, Python 3 actually makes me send this as bytes rather than string. Okay, so I have to add a new line of code here, say dot encode. Okay, and I have to use UTF-8 encoding in order to change this to be bytes. However, JSON module does not support this. If I was not using JSON module, then it would be okay to add this .encode thing and make it compatible with Python 3. But now it's not okay because JSON module doesn't support it. So rather than JSON, I'm going to import another module that actually supports this, and it's called simple JSON. Okay, and I couldn't write it, it's simple JSON. So rather than JSON, I'm going to use this module from now on. I'm going to delete JSON and go back to my code. Rather than saying JSON.dumps, I'm going to say simple JSON.dumps. And the method name is actually the same, dumps. Okay, so it's very easy. Rather than JSON, I'm going to say simple JSON, and we have to do this in JSON receive method as well. So here we say receive, and we have to decode it because it's now encoded. Okay, all you have to do is just add decode in here, and of course you have to replace this JSON in here with simple JSON one more time. And now it's actually compatible with Python 3. We had a module that is not working with Python 2. Now I replaced it with Python 3. We have to do the same thing in Windows as well, right? Because now we have a Python 2 compatible code, and actually let me copy this and paste it in here and change this, okay, to be Python 3 version. Okay, so this is now my second VP3, and we both have Python 2 and Python 3 versions of my socket as well. So if I open my new code, I will see that I have JSON.dumps and JSON.loads in here, and I'm going to replace them with simple JSON. So it's going to be the same thing. And of course, it's going to send the data with JSON, but I'm going to encode it with UTF-8 one more time. And under JSON receive method, I will have the JSON simple JSON.loads. And when I receive the data, I will have to say receive.decode, as I did in my listener. And of course, I have to import simple JSON rather than JSON this time. So let me save this and test if this works with Python 3 without getting any error or crashes. So let me go to CMD and let me copy my Python exe from here, and let me go into my desktop. Okay, and I accidentally hit Ctrl V. Let me go to CD desktop and then hit Ctrl V, and then say my second version Python 3. But before I run that, I have to run my listener. So I'm going to run it with Python 3, okay, and say my second listener Python 3. Here we are listening. Let me hit enter, and once I do that I get an error because we have no module named simple.json. So you know how to run pip install, right? You have to say -m pip3 install simple.json, and actually we are using Python 3 interpreter, so you have to say pip install simple.json, and it will install this module for us. So now I'm done, and now I can try to run this with Python 3. Now it should be opened. Let me go back to my Kali, and here we have the session. So let's run dir, and here you go, we have the results. If I run ipconfig, now I have the results. Let me try something else. Let me try to download this. Yeah, we already have this. Let me try to hello py this time. Okay, say download hello.py, and it says download. Okay, let me go back to my PyCharm projects folder and see if we manage to get this hello.py in my folder, and here we are, hello.py. Now it's working. So we are done with our backdoor, with our Python 3 compatible backdoor. Now the quit works as well. So congratulations, you completed the backdoor and listener section. Within the next section, we're going to see how we can deal with malicious files and packaging.